Welcome to What's the Vibe podcast, where we dive into the world of hip-hop music and culture. Your host, Tony Brainz, can't be with us for this episode. He is a little under the weather. So I, Mr. Stark, will be your host, and I'm joined by my co-host, Nova. Today, we'll be discussing the evolution of hip-hop music and its impact on society. Hip-hop music has its roots in the African American and Latino communities of New York City in the 1970s. It started as an underground movement with DJs and McKees using turntables, microphones, and speakers to create a new genre of music.
That's right. Mr. Stark. Hip-hop music quickly became a voice for the voiceless as it addressed issues such as poverty, police brutality, and inequality. It also gave a platform to artists who had been marginalized by the mainstream music industry.
Absolutely, Nova. And as hip-hop music gained popularity, it also faced criticism for its explicit lyrics and glorification of violence and drug use. But despite this, it continued to grow and evolve, with new subgenres and styles emerging over the years.
Yes, Mr. Stark. And one of the most influential subgenres of hip-hop is gangsta rap. It emerged in the 1980s and was characterized by its gritty, street-focused lyrics and heavy use of profanity. It was controversial, but also gave a voice to the experiences of many young people living in impoverished urban areas.
That's right, Nova. And in recent years, we've seen a shift towards more conscious and socially conscious hip-hop music. Artists like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Chance the Rapper are using their platforms to address issues such as racism, police brutality, and social injustice.
And we can't forget about the impact of hip-hop culture on fashion and art. From the baggy pants and oversized t-shirts of the 90s to the bling and designer brands of the early 2000s, hip-hop fashion has always been a reflection of the culture.
Definitely, Nova. And the influence of hip-hop can also be seen in graffiti art and street art, which often draws on the themes and styles of hip-hop music.
So, Mr. Stark, what do you think the future holds for hip-hop music?
Well, Nova, I think we'll continue to see hip-hop music evolve and grow, with new artists and subgenres emerging. And I hope that we'll continue to see hip-hop artists using their platforms to address important social issues and promote positive change.
Well, as hip-hop music evolves, it becomes more mainstream and more diverse. In the 1980s and 1990s, artists like Run DMC, Public Enemy, and NWA used hip-hop music as a platform to speak out against social injustice and police brutality. At the same time, artists like LL Cool J, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, and Slick Rick focused on the art of lyricism and storytelling, elevating hip-hop to a new level of creativity and sophistication.
Hip-hop is a great art with a great influence that will be here for a very long time.
Couldn't agree with you more, Mr. Stark. And on that note, that's all the time we have for today's episode of What's the Vibe podcast. Join us next time as we continue to explore the world of hip-hop music and our society's culture.
Thank you for tuning in to What's the Vibe podcast with your host, Mr. Stark, and co-host Nova. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained some valuable insights and perspectives. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review on your favorite platform. Your feedback is incredibly important to us as we strive to bring you the best content possible. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll continue to explore the latest trends, news, and ideas in the world of music, culture, film, and beyond. Until then, keep vibing and stay curious. Also, visit us on all social media platforms and at www.whatsthevibepodcast.com.